here hoping to have a good time seeing Liam Neeson kick some ass, and let's go in. Alright guys, so let's get started with the flood of reviews that I have to record. But anyways, I did go see Cold Pursuit. This is a movie that I was actually it was on my radar. I was kind of looking forward to, not only because it was a cool looking action flick, but I mean, it has Liam Neeson and I do enjoy his movies, no matter how generic and how much his movies basically recycle the same formula over and over again. And yeah, Cold Pursuit was a movie that I was sort of looking forward to, although I was a bit skeptical about it. But anyways, my opinion for this movie is going to be more on the unpopular opinion side, rather than what everyone is actually thinking about the movie. So yeah, before I get to my actual opinion on the movie itself, let's talk a little bit about the story. Basically, a man, Liam Neeson, his son gets murdered, and the people who killed his son made it seem like he killed himself with an overdose of heroin, my bad. And but Liam Neeson knows that that's not true, so then we get a very dark comedy version of Taken. Now, I did mention how basically how almost every Liam Neeson action movie uses the same formula over and over again. Well, Cold Pursuit is actually not one of those movies. It actually tends to follow its own formula, its own style, which is something that I appreciated and something that, at least they tried to fit. Personally, I didn't think that it worked, but at least they tried something new, and I really appreciate that. And it looked like other people in the theater were enjoying how the story was unwrapping. But personally, it was just not my cup of tea. I didn't like how things were unfolding in this movie. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I should have definitely loved this movie, but I just really just didn't care for this movie at all. Liam Neeson is very good in this role, and he has a good role, and he could be fun to watch as well. But he is the only likable character in this movie, and he was the only one that the movie made me care for. Every other character in this movie is just a unlikable douchebag, but I'm sure that most of the characters in this movie were meant to be like this, but I just didn't think that it worked in the way it was intended to work. I believe in the way they wanted it to work was for it to be these characters to be not only dicks, but they wanted them to actually be kind of humorous, and I didn't see it working. They just came off as straight jerks to me, and I didn't enjoy their characters. I didn't enjoy their presence at all. And they just all came off as unlikable jerks that I just didn't want to see on screen anymore. And again, Liam Neeson is the only person in this movie that I cared for. The directing, I didn't think was all that well either. Personally, I didn't feel like it was well crafted, and it really felt a lot like they were struggling to how to keep the story going for 2 hours. The narrative just wasn't strong at all, and it's one of the movies where it just has too much focus on one character for like the first act, and then they're like, wait, and then they just shift focus to another character in the second act, but you completely forget about the main character for the rest of the movie, and it's just very uneven. It's a very uneven movie, and they do attempt to make this into a comedy, but it honestly didn't even work for most of the time. And when it did, it just felt like the comedy was just randomly sprinkled there. And the movie has serious pacing issues as well. The pacing sucks in this movie. This movie is 2 hours long, but it felt like I was in the theater for a whole school day. Not even lying with you guys. I will say though, the first act of the movie kept my interest, but it just lost me quickly. This movie is just so mean-spirited, so convoluted. I mean, the action is fun when it's on screen. Liam Neeson, as always, is good. I just don't think that this is a very good movie, and it just, when I was typing the script for my review, it just got worse the more I thought about it. So with that being said, honestly, I'd say that this is a time loss. So a waste of time, at least in my opinion. With that being said, I'm going to give Cold Pursuit a D+. Anyways, that's what I thought about Cold Pursuit. If you guys have a different opinion about it, or whatever you guys thought about it, Let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to know, since a lot of people do seem to be enjoying this movie, except I wasn't really one of them. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.